Good morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hopefully, you guys are having a great start to your Tuesday and having a great week so far. We're going to give you an update on what's going on with this potential setup as we get to the latter part of this week. And I'm really focusing on the 13th to the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, and really trying to see what's going to happen here. There's been some confidence increasing that something is going to happen. Even the National Weather Service is really starting to talk about it in some of their discussions. And there's a lot of pieces of energy out there. Will this be a one-piece dominated system? Will it not be? We're just not sure, but we're going to give you the latest information. I'm not going to keep you all long this morning. We're going to get much detail tonight, but there's some good information in this video. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you like it. There's some models starting to show some snow in the Carolinas. So I want to remind you guys that what I show you does not necessarily mean it's going to happen. I'm just showing you model guidance, and we're trying to figure out what's going to happen with this setup. It's very interesting, but we're still about 5 to 6 days out. So I want to remind you guys, hit me up on my social media links over here. It's a great way to stay up to date when we're leading up to a storm system and trying to figure out what's going to happen. Obviously, I can't make videos every hour on YouTube, so it's a great way to stay up to date with the latest and greatest. Like I said, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Like the video if you like it. Thank you all for the amazing support. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. So, what we got going on here is the latest GFS from this morning. High pressure starts diving down as we're getting into our Saturday. And we'll back it up here with the approaching upper trough, which is our cold front. You will have some kind of energy right up here that might be like a clipper type setup with a northern stream. This will promote a little bit of snow for areas like Chicago, potentially the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes region. This continues. At the same time, we're getting into Saturday afternoon. You got some energy showing up into the Gulf of Mexico. Along this, you have energy setting up along this trough, which is the northern stream energy. So we keep going here in time. We're getting into Sunday morning. Low pressure scoots over Florida, gets very close to the coastal sections of the Carolinas. At the same time, you have cold air starting to move in, and it's showing snow all the way into the deep south regions of the south, all the way down almost to the Gulf Coast. It's incredible here. But remember, this is 126 hours out. This is for Sunday morning. You can't take it very serious. But you can see what's going on here. The northern stream energy is right here. The southern stream energy is right here. And they kind of miss phasing together, if you will, but they come very close right here. And as you can tell, this is moisture from the low pressure off the coast of the Carolinas for basically North Carolina, southeast Virginia. And this is why you have to watch this for the entire eastern U.S., because this piece of energy right here could get very close to the northeast. I'm talking Boston, New York City, and it does. The latest GFS, it gets rather close. At the same time, you have this northern stream energy dipping down here, and this is a vigorous piece of energy just on its own, but these two just don't phase. But you have enough energy setting up for the northern stream energy to promote snow because you have cold air digging down into the southeast. And the latest GFS and the one before this shows snow all the way into the Carolinas. And not just your normal amount of snow. This is accumulating snow for areas of central South Carolina, almost all of North Carolina. And this is just one run. But I will mention the run prior to this showed the same thing. And look at this. This is the one prior to it, showing snow all the way into the Carolinas. I will mention, I do not think this is going to fall at a 10-to-1 ratio because the day before, or even 12 hours to 18 hours before the snow potentially falls, I'm using that word a lot, it will probably be in the 60s in spots. But this is all just potential right now. And I will remind you guys that it's really only the GFS as far as the operational run that is very excited about this. Now, the other models do show things, but not like the GFS does. So if this ends up unfolding on what the GFS is showing, which is snow for the Carolinas and Southeast, this will be a big time win for the GFS. Now, we'll look at the Canadian model. Same situation. You got a bunch of energy in the Gulf of Mexico. You got energy up top right here, but they never quite phase. And it looks very similar. To me, it does. You got cold air coming through now. They're not the exact same, and I'll show you why here in a second. Low pressure develops right here. This is getting into Sunday evening, and they don't quite get their act together, but it doesn't really show that northern piece of energy as exciting, and the cold air doesn't really come in as quick on the Canadian model. Therefore, you don't have that crazy snow showing up here, but you see the potential with snow on the final frame here of this system for Monday afternoon for areas of the far eastern North Carolina. You see the blue showing up here, so it shows that potential there. It does. It really does. Now the European model, which is the king of all models historically, let's get this rolling here very quickly. And we're getting into late week, and here it comes. Here comes that snow for the Great Lakes region and the northern areas of the Ohio Valley. Maybe some snow for Chicago. And then, okay, where is it, right? Here comes the trough as we're getting into Sunday morning. You're not really seeing much in the way of moisture, right? Well, here comes that low pressure energy right here. There's a little bit of moisture to work with, and there's a little bit of moisture off the northern stream with this upper trough is digging down here. And they kind of come together. The Euro has been really consistent with showing a scenario like this, but the Euro is a little bit more, I guess you can say, amped up than its previous runs, and does show a light snow event for portions as we're getting into Sunday evening. It's much quicker in general, I will say, but for really for Sunday evening, some light snow for southeast Virginia, including Raleigh into North Carolina, and basically the triangle of North Carolina to northern eastern areas of North Carolina. Then it moves on off, and it's over. And then some kind of chilly air moves through. I will mention this is coming at the heels of the end of a good pattern. And I'll say good pattern, but really it's just a brief window of a good pattern. And then it looks like we start to warm up. We typically have systems like this at the end of good patterns. That just historically, climate a lot of times says that. I'm sorry, I got my words mixed up a little bit there, but just based off what we've seen in the past, a lot of times good storms come at the end of very good patterns. So here we go. GFS is 10-to-1 ratio. Remember, latest GFS shows 3 inches of snow in Columbia, almost 5 inches in Charlotte, and just a swath of heavy snowfall accumulation, even very close to Atlanta. Northeast Atlanta gets into this, and this is all based off really the northern stream energy. Now you see this over here. This is basically the Gulf low that rides up into the southeast, and that's the southern stream energy. They're not even phasing, but this northern stream energy produces, and it shows accumulating and light accumulating snow all the way into the deep south. It's a very interesting scenario here. It really is. You look at the GEFS ensembles, what do they look like? Well, they've definitely increased. They're starting to like the idea of its own operational run, but it's still just not quite there yet. It's not even close to what the operational run is showing. In fact, you look at this, it shows most of the snow down here, but if you look at the ensemble, it really likes the idea of this being more so a mid-Atlantic snowstorm, but we'll watch to see how far south this trends. We compare this to the OOZ run, and it certainly has increased in general for everybody, really, that potentially could be impacted by the storm. That's a pretty substantial increase. This is the new run, right? Pretty substantial increase. It really is. I know. For folks in South Carolina, Georgia, you're thinking, well, this isn't showing much at all for us. Well, don't focus in on that this far out. Really, you really don't. It's just the idea that confidence is increasing of some kind of storm in general. We got that to work with for now. So I will mention the OOZ GFS operational run showed even more snow into the same areas that the GFS run showed. Take a look at the ensembles for the European. It's just not where the GFS ensembles are. They really aren't. It's just not that excited about this quite yet. But there is a signal into Virginia and North Carolina for sure. We'll look at the energy and what's going on here, but really off the basically what you saw on the surface profiles with the moisture, you could really just see it there. You don't even have to really look at this. But let's take a look at it. So here comes our upper trough digging down here with the northern stream energy. This pulls through at the same time. This is energy out the Gulf. A low pressure rides through, scoots out too quick for this to be a phasing type situation. But this upper trough digs here, and it becomes its own entity, if you will, its own system. And it digs pretty well. Therefore, it becomes a pretty vigorous piece of energy right here that digs down, and that's why it shows snow into the Carolinas and portions of Georgia as it wraps on up. But you need to watch this for the Northeast too. You really do, especially the low pressure. If these pieces of energy come together at all, talking about this piece and this piece, I will admit for areas of I would say the Carolinas, basically areas that the GFS is showing all this snow for. I really think if these phase together, that probably will not happen. So if you want snow deep into the Carolinas, especially the southern areas of the Carolinas, like South Carolina, Georgia, I would almost say that you're almost pulling more so for what it's showing now and for these not to phase together. I feel like if these phase together, especially early on, this will cut and be really an interior eastern U.S. snow. So we'll continue to watch. A lot of things could happen, but the trend here has been for these not to phase. Very close to phasing, but not to phase. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all tonight. God bless.